going on, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Sparty Update Podcast.
What up?
As usual, I'm here with my co-hosts, Sergio Valencia and Edgar Torres.
What's good?
What up? Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back, everyone. We appreciate everyone's listening.
We're on it this week, so.
Yeah, and I would say welcome back because this is part 2 to last week's episode. So if you haven't listened to what last week's is, literally is going to make no sense to you.
So
little out of context.
Recap, so yeah.
You better make sure to go listen to that first.
Exactly.
Then come back.
Yeah.
Can't make excuses because we're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube.
Everywhere.
We're on the tube, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not that tube.
Hey.
Yeah.
We're on the tube.
Yeah, so last episode we kind of got into the first half of the season. We were predicting a different schedule and how it was going to go out for the Spartans. I remember I had them at 4-2. Serge, what'd you have them at?
I had them at 5-1, losing to USC.
I had them at 4-2, losing to, I believe, USC, and I had them losing to, I forgot where I had them losing to. USC, I know they're losing to
Western
USC
Michigan.
And Western Michigan.
Yeah, I had them losing to SC and Colorado State. And I think before we get into this week's topic, we can get into, because last week we got into what was our favorite game and like our favorite moment and stuff like that. Let's flip the script a little bit and get into what game we just absolutely hated. Like what sucked, right? It didn't matter if it was the game, working situations, like you had a bad like Chick-fil-A in the morning. Like, Serge, what you got? Let's start off with something with you.
So for me, I'm a big like wuss when it comes to the cold. So like all the cold games. So like when we had to go play like BYU, Utah State, Colorado State, and I was just freezing my hands and fingers off. It was.
You can't even speak because you didn't even get snowed on.
I know.
I did.
I was praying that I didn't catch no snow, and luckily I didn't. But still, like I had never witnessed that kind of cold before, and like even like the fans were saying like this is not that cold.
You Wyoming then.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have.
So like segueing from Serge, I would say definitely the Wyoming game because who wants to be in -2-degree weather and like getting pounded by snow? The funny thing is about that Wyoming game, the guy next to me kept like egging me on about turning on this like little space heater that we had in there. And I was like, dude, that space heater is long gone. Like there's like about 4 feet of snow in this booth. Like that heater doesn't even connect to the wall because there's water on it. He's like, no, dude, turn it on. I'll give you an image. This space heater was like no bigger than like
a tablet.
Paint us the picture.
Yes, dude, it was so small, and I was like, how is this gonna keep 2 people warm? And like the wind's blowing, the snow's pounding us. Like that's one of my worst games. The second would have to be visiting West Point Army. The whole process about that just stunk.
Why?
We weren't there for that.
Oh, yeah.
You guys weren't there for that, but I mean the trip was dope because like we went to New Jersey, went to New York, and like I got to see the city. But like the process, like you have to check in with them, you have to go through metal detectors, you have to fill out this like process of like a background check almost. And I was like,
so it's like going through TSA.
Yeah, I was like, dude, just let us in. Like, but it's like, yeah, that process was sucked. Also, the people that you know how typically like the opponent team, like camera team, like coaches film, helps you around the stadium.
Yeah.
They didn't even meet with us.
Uh-huh.
They're like, good luck. One person just like, oh yeah, end zone's over there, sideline's over there, and I was like, well, I've never been here. How do you get up there? So I remember me and Jaden having to like go look for end zone, like going all the way up, and then we have to go through security again, like metal detectors again, and they're like, oh, who do you know around here? Like, where are your certificates? And
It's like a fraternity party.
Dude, I was like, yeah.
Name 5 bros.
At that point,
Name 5 soldiers.
I was getting pissed, and Jaden was like looking at me, and I was like, dude, I'm getting pissed to the point where it's like, if we don't get it to end zone, like I don't even care because they're making this so much difficult. Like it's so difficult to get up, and no one would answer our questions like, how do we get up to shoot end zone? And everyone was like, oh, we have no idea. And I was like, surprise.
This reminds me of the Hawaii game.
Hawaii's terrible, dude.
I remember we drove around in the little cart trying to find a way up to the spots where you're supposed to film. And like we kept missing it. They're like, it's like you like go left, go right, and it's right there, right? And somehow we could never find it. Eventually, one of the other video guys had to show us how to get there. And then where you film was this like janky like box that you stand.
I remember that.
And
At
it's
least
like
in Hawaii though.
that was a
that
plus. And then I remember
Uh-huh.
Sideline had a shoot from you were pretty much like in the stands. So then Luke decided Luke decided to film from the stands, and because there was no one there. But then like middle of the first quarter, second quarter, like that's when the fans started rolling in.
Yeah.
And they started like heckling him and like getting in his way, and like it just like messed up the whole video from the sideline.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that because Luke was radioing over. He was like, "Hey, these fans are being really mean. Like, I think I'm in someone's seat."
What a big teddy bear. Dude's like 6'8".
So then we had to get all the film.
250.
Yeah, we had to get all the film from Hawaii. Yeah, that sucked.
Hey, shout out Luke for doing that. What was it?
Oh yeah, the
not
like
a
a
marathon.
triathlon.
Yeah, triathlon.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Up in Folsom. Yeah, dude, he's killing it.
Boy got skinny.
Yeah, bro.
You guys want to go back to my worst like
Yeah,
experience?
yeah, my bad,
my
bad.
I know we're going, but
Enough of Luke.
yeah, we've shot you out enough in this show today, Luke. All right. So yeah, going back to West Point, like after 30 minutes, like I finally make it, and like I'm setting up, and it's literally like 2 minutes before game time starts. That's how long it took us.
Oh,
Dude, that's scary.
And like I was like, damn, like I gotta set up this tripod, gotta make sure all the cameras are fine, and all the like memory cards are good, erased, ready to go. And finally, one like their end zone comes up, like, oh, you finally found it. And I was like, bruh,
And
I've been looking for you the whole time.
For context, we usually show up 2 hours before the game starts.
Yeah, that shit's up and running like.
So I was
Way
sweaty.
before.
I was sweaty because we were going up and down these stairs, going through elevators, and this girl was just like, "Oh, you finally found it." I was like, "Well, no shit. I mean, I've been looking for this and I've been looking for you to help me up." And she's like, "Oh, yeah, we typically don't try to help you guys out." And I was like, "What? What the hell?"
I'm not gonna give you a competitive advantage.
Yeah, I was like,
I
"What
know.
the hell?"
I am not on the field.
So, given that, fast forward, we won that game. That was dope. We beat West Point because the year before that, everyone, as we could recap from episode 1, we got blown out. That process sucked because someone forgot the keys to the van.
Oh.
So I had to go, and they forgot where they parked. So I had to run up this hill because the campus was like going down these stairs. And I remember Cam calling me, but I left my phone charging in the locker room because it's a 5-hour flight. And I remember these security, like these, I don't know, cadets, whatever you call them. I was trying to get through. I was like, hey, I work for the team. I'm trying to pick up my team, and we're trying to go because we have to catch a flight. Oh, you don't have the right credentials. I was like, dude, come on, man. Like, you guys are the worst. Like, just let me in. I'll even park the car and I'll walk if you really want me. If you don't want the vehicle to come in, if you think it's suspicious. And finally, like, I gave them some attitude. I got off the car and I'm running towards them. The guy was like, hey, come back. You can come in. I was like, dude. So we're like 40 minutes behind. It's all of media literally stacked in one van, and like we're the last ones to get to the plane. I was scared shitless, man. And that's pretty much the worst story. That's like my worst experience. Besides winning the game,
Sounds
that was
stressful.
dope. It was just frustrating.
Yeah, how many people in West Point, New York, are rocking San Jose State gear? So it's like,
yeah,
whatever.
seriously. It's like, we're cross country. Just let me in.
Yeah, for me, I gotta say, the worst game I ever worked, and it wasn't even that bad. I mean, compared to your guys's, now I'm just like, oh, maybe I should reevaluate. But it was 2016 against Nevada. Luckily, we won this game, but bro, I shit you not, it was the worst rain I've ever been a part of in San Jose. Like, I would say like.
It rains in San Jose?
Exactly, dude. The one day in San Jose where like I wouldn't be surprised if there was like flooding or something. But bro, there was a crazy ass like rainstorm, and my boss at the time, the old video coordinator, Parker, he bought me, well, not me, but he bought like, you know, like when you go camping and they make those like little like tents to make like a bathroom for. It's like a one-person tent, and it's pretty much like a teepee.
Yeah.
So he buys one of those. He's like, all right, you're gonna film in this because it's raining like crazy. You know, we're at the really top of the stadium, and it's like hella high up there.
Yeah.
All right, so imagine rain plus wind trying to set up a dam.
Dude, shooting in the rain is the worst.
Dude.
The worst.
And then, so I'm trying to set up this TP thing before the freaking game starts. All right, and then we finally get it set up, and I'm filming in there, and then now the humidity comes in, because, like, I'm in this little tent, and, bro, I'm sweating.
You're probably breathing
Bro,
hard.
I'm, like, dying. I'm like, I would rather be in the rain. But, like, I'm in this freaking, like outhouse, like, thing, and I'm like, I need to get the fuck out of here, you know? And I was just like, this is ridiculous. And so at halftime, I can't do it. I'm like, all right, I just ripped this out, and I'm just like, all right, I don't even care anymore. Like, so I'm like doused in rain, like I'm humid, like inside of my sweater is soaking like sweat, and like, I was like, I don't care. And I was like, I remember the game was over, we won and everything. I went back in the office. I was like, I'll see you Monday. Like, I didn't even give a damn, bro. I got in my car, went straight, and
You're crying in your car.
Dude, I don't even know. It must have been like the hottest shower, because it was like any other person, this would be like blistering heat. But I was just like, dude, this is the worst. But since then, I've never seen rain like that in San Jose. So it was just ridiculous. I don't know what happened that day. But you know, now that we got our awful stories or worst games.
You could tell those were the worst experience, because I had a little anger behind mine.
Yeah.
Dude, that was the worst, man. At West Point.
Man, I feel like mine weren't even that bad. It was just me.
Yeah, yours was not bad. Mine was just irritating, man. I hated that whole experience.
So let's transition now to our topic, and let's get on with the rest of the season prediction. As we mentioned, you know, the first half of the season we talked about in episode 3, and now we're getting to the final 6 of the season. And so after that, you know, halfway point, San Jose State, the Spartans, they open up with the San Diego State Aztecs.
Ooh, big rivals.
Yeah, big NorCal, SoCal. So San Diego State last year, they finished their season with a 4-4 record. They went 4-2 in conference play. They did play 2 out of conference games, losing both of them. One of them against Colorado after their Fresno State game was canceled, and then they finished the season off against BYU, losing that one. All time, the Spartans against San Diego State are 20-22 with 2 ties. And
it really is back and forth.
It's pretty back and forth, but I'll tell you this. Last year, before the Spartans finally beat San Diego State, had a 7-year win streak against them.
Yeah.
So for a minute, it was a little lopsided. But Sergio, looking at San Diego State, what do you think about them?
Yeah, give us the stats guy.
Nah, I'm not the stats guy,
or
but
recruiting guy.
Yeah, I would say they had a down year last year. But they've also have to play away, right? Like they're going to be playing. They played this past season at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. They have to play there again this year because
their stadium's being built.
Yeah, so
that old stadium they had was disgusting.
Old Call Quam.
Yeah, that thing was pretty bad.
Looked like a prison.
Oh, you went there, right?
I went there too.
Our last game, our last game that I remember being there was 2018. And our locker room that we used was the Padres locker room.
The old Padres.
And the Padres at that time have had their new stadium for like almost 15 years.
Yeah.
So it was crazy.
Dude, it was like a time capsule. Like
so weird.
You would walk in there and you're just like, are we in like the 70s right now?
It was crazy. But Serge, what else do you see?
So with them, you know, they had like a down year last year. This year might be another struggle because usually the best part of their team is their secondary, and they lost 3 out of the 4 starters.
Ooh.
So replacing those is going to be tough. But San Diego State,
Did they transfer? Or
not like to the NFL.
Oh shit.
So based on like since I've been keeping up with San Diego State, like they usually have pretty good DBs. So whoever's replacing those dudes, they're probably gonna be ballers too. So I know they lost their left side of the O line, so they gotta replace that as well. They don't really have a starting QB. The QB that started the season last year got benched halfway through. The dude that replaced them seems like might be injury prone. But their whole roster of QBs is all dual threats. So, that's the future of the quarterback position. So.
And don't they love to run the ball?
And they do love to run. So
that's gonna
offensively, that's probably their strength. They got their whole running back room back, and you know what the run game can do to us. Shout out Rashad Penny.
What do you want me to say? Oh, Rashad Penny. Damn. Who was the other guy that went?
Their backup.
Dude,
he had like 150.
What was his name?
Donnell Pumphrey's.
Humphreys?
Yeah.
Humphreys, yeah.
Humphreys, there you go.
Humphrey. I
think he went.
I said Pompey. Like.
He went first round, I think, to the Eagles.
To the who?
The Eagles?
Not first round.
He went first round.
I think he went first round, dude.
First round, like
Donnell?
30.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. So the Eagles won the Super Bowl 2018. So 2018 draft, I think he went like 30, 31.
My guy, I'm the draft guy here.
Yeah, look it up. Edgar, while he does that, do you see anything with San Diego State? What do you got with them?
Well, I don't know, man. I mean,
fourth round.
Really, it was the
fourth round.
Oh,
fourth round.
Yeah.
No,
you're way off.
There was a San Diego State running back that went first round.
That was Rashad Penny, bro. To the Seahawks.
Oh, that was Rashad Penny?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Oops.
Might be. All right.
Oops. But like you mentioned, it's pretty back and forth. But like those years that we lost 7 years in a row. But I don't know. I think if we play like we played last year, and if Nick Starkel doesn't get injured, like he did last year, and I think we'll be fine against them. Just got to be careful with like those running backs, like you said. I have this guy Jesse Matthews. Is he a tight end? Receiver. Yeah, he went off against them. So if they contain him, I think they'll be okay. Yeah, I don't know. This is a big one. I think
they got a new receiver too. I forget where. Oh, he transferred from Mississippi State. Tyrell Shavers.
Damn, SEC.
6'6".
That's a big boy.
Yeah, he can lob it up there.
I don't know. I hope they win this game though.
I think they should win this game.
I think they should win this game because I don't know if you guys follow San Diego State. I follow the Mountain West on Twitter, like all of Mountain West and like San Diego State. I like looking to like
big Mountain West guy.
Yeah, big Mountain West guy.
Huge.
And they were talking like I mentioned this in episode 1. They were talking spicy. They were putting this stat up like saying like San Jose State's gonna finish last.
Last year or this year?
Last year.
Oh, okay.
Like San Jose State's gonna finish last in the Mountain West. Like they're barely gonna win 1 or 2 games again, and like they're gonna go second in the conference. And like they were just like tweeting at subtweeting at.
Ooh.
So I was like,
talk to me nice.
And then I still hate that I didn't screenshot that because at the end of the year when we beat them, and like we won the Mountain West, I was gonna tweet at them like I tweeted at the Boise State fans.
You guys remember when Edgar used to troll the trollers?
Yeah.
That was my secret job. That's when Cam used to call me. He's like, "Hey, what can you say with?" I was like, "Dude, I got lots to say." Do you want me to keep it?
You should have just
PG,
created
or do you want me to?
You should created a
burner.
A burner account. KD out here.
All right, so you guys got them winning, right? Sergio, you got them.
Yeah,
winning?
it'll be a close game, somewhere around like 24-17.
I got them at 35-21.
Oh, high scoring.
All right. Well, I don't want to rain on anyone's parade,
No.
but I'm seeing it a little different. So.
Something about you and SoCal, man.
Big,
What's going on?
big USC guy.
Weren't you born in Stockton?
We are talking about.
Why are you such a SoCal guy?
No, okay. Let me hit you with some stats.
Lathrop.
Let me hit you with some stats. So,
okay, hit me.
Their defense. They were first in the nation in 3-and-out percentage. They were 11th in scoring defense.
They were kind of raw though.
Everyone in their front six
okay, you're right.
is returning.
Yeah.
And even though that they may have some secondary issues, history has shown that normally they plug and play DBs, safeties, whatever it is, and they usually do a pretty good job.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense last year, on average, they gave up opponent scores at just under 18 points a game. That made them 11th in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
They do have 2 all-conference linemen returning, on their offensive side.
That'll matter.
The right side.
Yeah,
Kate Hall, Fajoko.
Their skill positions
Uh-huh.
are pretty much loaded with experience from what I can see.
Yeah.
But their quarterback position definitely is an issue. They've kind of had a quarterback carousel in there. And
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a good QB.
they've
come
never
out of that.
had great QB. It's always usually been a running school.
They're running back in a DB school.
Yeah.
DBU.
Looking at some stats, ESPN does give the Spartans a 58% chance of winning, but I think with San Diego State's front six having a lot of their big defensive pieces coming back, and we talked about last episode that the Spartans' run game is kind of suspect, kind of sus, and I think when we get to this point, you know, middle of the season, we're pretty deep, and hopefully the Spartans improve on that run game. But without knowing that, if we're speaking right now, basing on last year, I'm gonna say that that's gonna hurt them, and San Diego State's defense is gonna cause some issues. So I have San Diego State winning 20 to the Spartans.
The funny
14.
thing about that is that we outrushed them last year.
Yeah. That
Sounds like you're like.
It was 116 to 101. So.
Yeah.
You don't got faith in the
Yeah,
Hot
no,
Boys?
seriously, man.
No, I mean I do, but I'm just saying. I'm just looking at
Our
stats.
whole
Hey,
line is back.
Yeah,
I-
the whole line's back. The running backs are back.
Hey, no, I know. Trust me. I totally agree with that. I'm just saying
Do
that.
we have another imposter in here? Or what?
I'm just saying that you got to do a little bit better than 3 yards average rushing per game. So or 3 yards per rush. So that's what I have going. That's how I see it. I think that it's gonna be close. I mean, if ESPN has them projected at 58, I mean that's pretty much a toss up. You know?
Yeah. No.
So I think
definitely it is.
But
For sure.
It's gonna be a good game.
But anything can happen, you know, of course. But I think
Anything can happen.
if the Spartans can get that run game going, then I think it's there's no doubt that their offense is way better than San Diego State's.
And we just gotta make sure Nick Starko stays healthy this time.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I think that's one thing that also kind of convinces me that San Jose State will win because we did it with Nick Nash last year. If anything, with Starkville, we should score more, right?
Yeah, maybe. I would guess so. But so now we got San Diego State, over with. Now they're going to Las Vegas. They're going to play UNLV Rebels. UNLV last year played no non-conference games. The Rebels finished 0-6
Sheesh.
in the Mountain West. You want to talk about garbage? And I'm not talking about the Strip. I'm talking about UNLV.
Whoa.
Hey, Fremont Street's okay?
Yeah.
But, yeah, they stink.
Yeah, it was
Don't
their,
beat around the bush there either.
it
Easy
was,
dub.
It was their worst record since 1998.
Who?
Here's a little San Jose connection. Head coach Marcus Arroyo was the starting quarterback for the Spartans. They kind of talked about that last year. There was a bunch of video
During the game,
packages. He was a quarterback from 98 to 2002, set many school records for passing, some of which are still haven't been surpassed. And then there's kind of
nice, huh?
Yeah, he was pretty nice. Yeah, he was good back in the days. And then he came back in 05. He was a grad assistant. He was promoted to a full-time position in 06 as a quarterback coach, and then he was a co-offensive coordinator in 2007. And he's best friends with Coach Brennan. They were both in each other's weddings. So there's I'm sure there's a competitive spirit between the two. Yeah. So they're
Best
pros.
friends.
They're
Man,
homies.
we should have brought him in as an OC.
Yeah, well, I remember because he was at Oregon before, and when we played them, and I think maybe when the head coaching job was coming up and Brennan got it, I remember there was a little talks about Arroyo, but maybe he was killing it at Oregon and then wanted to.
Well, yeah, I guess Oregon State. He was a QB coach and passing game coordinator or something like that.
Yeah.
I know he did. He did 1 year with the Tampa Bay Bucks too.
What? For real?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's been around. Serge, you want to talk a little bit about the UNLV? They're no longer the running Rebels. They're just the Rebels. That was kind of.
I think that just goes for the basketball team. I think that's just for the basketball
It's
team.
stupid. It's gimmicky.
Yeah, I would say that UNLV that it's gonna be another rough year for them. They have tough start to the season. The only like winnable games for them might be like Eastern Washington or University of Texas of San Antonio. Other than that, every game is tough for them. They do have a lot of like young talent in like wide receiver Kyle Williams, and then their DN Jacoby Wyndham. He had 5 sacks last year, so he's a beast. They're bringing their running back. He's probably their best offensive player, Charles Williams. As of now, it seems like their starting QB is going to be Justin Rogers, but who knows by the time we see them. There's not much to say about this game. It's going to be easy dub, 42-10.
Ooh,
See, this
so
is
you got
why I
even.
like Serge. He likes to keep it a little more contained, hold on. He holds back. 0-6, that stinks. I got it as a dub. And then they let up a lot of points. Their defense stinks. All their losses, 34-6, 37-19, 40-27. We smashed them 34-17. Yeah, I'm gonna go easy dub. I mean, what can you say? Last in the division, 0-6. I'm gonna say 42-24.
Ooh, okay.
I'd say we smash them.
They only scored over 21 points in one game last year, and allowed 34 points per game.
It's not
You
good.
guys can't see my face, but like I'm making a disgusting face.
That's a recipe for a lot of garbage.
Listen to some Mac Dre right now.
Smell that?
So,
Got that this face on.
so I got a little fun stats for the Spartans against the Rebels. All time,
the running rebels.
the running. I mean, at this point, I don't
Okay.
even. I don't even know at this point. But they're 18-6 and 1 all time, so it's been pretty lopsided on the Spartans side. And over the last few years, so from 95 to 2016, UNLV won 7 straight games. But since then, it's been pretty back and forth. And actually, every home team has won.
Yeah.
So usually the visitor is the one that's been losing. So you have it as
That 2019 game was a heartbreaker.
yeah, in 17 and 19 UNLV won, and 18 and 20 San Jose State won. So it's pretty much whoever's the home game, that's pretty much going to give you the advantage. ESPN has the Spartans winning at a 80% chance. Like they're not even giving the Rebels a chance in this one.
I'm not even holding back. They're not even holding back either. So.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy? That even though that UNLV went 0-6 last year, they signed one of the best recruiting class in the Mountain West.
Oh
Sneaky.
yeah, sneaky.
Sneaky.
We kind of talked about it earlier, but some say it's might be the best. They have
Some would say
18 3-star prospects, and they brought in 4 Power 5 transfers.
snap. Okay.
Yeah, but.
Maybe I'll switch it up a little bit.
But that, I mean, I don't know if that's going to be an immediate impact. I think in 2021 they're still going to be very young and very inexperienced when compared to the Spartans. We did talk about Kyle Williams. He's a bright spot. I think they have quarterback issues. They definitely do have the possibility of a really good running game. One of their running backs coming back, Charles Williams, rushed for over 1,200 yards in 2019. And they have an Oregon transfer, Javon Wilson. So that backfield may be a problem, but I think with their quarterback still kind of being iffy, I mean, I don't know. I still think that the Spartans are going to, I don't want to say easy dub, but I definitely think they won't struggle much with them. I'm going to give the Spartans a 30-17 win against.
Yeah, I think UNLV is gonna be that. They're gonna be like we were, like the. It's a new coach. He showed that he could recruit. Landing a really good recruiting class this year, and he's just gonna be bringing in like his type of players, players that fit their schemes and stuff. So they may not be good now, but. Down the line, they might be nice.
Yeah, I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. Maybe next year, maybe in 2 years.
Yeah.
But
not this year though.
Arroyo can really.
Hopefully.
He can recruit. That dude. I mean, 0-6, and you bring in all this talent.
Facts.
Like that's pretty cool. I think UNLV right now, it's kind of like where the Spartans were in.
He's handing out bags.
Maybe like 2018. Oh, you don't know.
It's Vegas.
You don't know. But where the Spartans were in 2018, they're going to get some wins here and there, but for the most part, they're still going to be really, really far away.
Yeah, here in my notes, when I saw that they were 0-6, I was like, sheesh. I remember those days.
Yeah. I mean, there was one point where we lost like 7 straight games, and I was like, man, it's really looking like we're not going to win a game this year.
It was tough.
So, my hat's off to you.
Those were the worst days.
To you Rebels, because you guys are gonna lose some games this year, but it's gonna look nice at Allegiant Stadium.
You just never know, man.
Yeah. So after they have a little tussle with UNLV, they got the Wyoming Cowboys
Coming home.
They're coming home to play the Cowboys. Wyoming last year finished 2020 2-4. They were actually projected to be second in the Mountain West, in the Mountain Division. And last year they were projected to be really good. And
they're supposed to be good.
They were supposed to be good, but they finished the year 2-4.
Really dodged that one.
Yeah, all their losses came in really close games. Their biggest loss was a 10-point defeat against Colorado State.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it was all one-score games, and 2 of them were lost by 1 point. They did have, a lot of canceled games against Hawaii that was replaced by San Diego. Their game against Air Force was canceled due to COVID. They had
COVID again.
Yeah, and they had a Utah State game canceled because of a player protest. So I guess you can maybe accredit to, a lot of their losses, maybe dealing with schedule, not knowing who they're going to play. But I mean, Wyoming's typically a pretty good school. So it's unusual for them to.
Well, since Josh Allen went there.
Yeah.
Before that.
But yeah.
I have no idea who Wyoming was.
Yeah, I didn't even know they existed.
And old Laramie, remember that? God awful place. No one ever go. So, Serge, I'll kick it to you. And what do you got for the Wyoming Cowboys?
Yeah, they're gonna have a bounce back season. The start of their schedule is super easy. I would say.
How easy?
They're definitely starting 2-0. Then they play Ball State. That's gonna be a tough one, but could be a winnable game.
Just trigger warning.
And then they go to UConn, Air Force, Fresno, and then New Mexico before they play us. So theoretically, by the time they see us, they could have only lost 1 game, with being to Ball State.
Sheesh.
So, but by my predictions, we will both be 1-loss teams by the time we play each other. So it's gonna be a tough game. Their defense is returning all 11 starters. Offense is returning 10 starters. Defense ranked 16th in the nation in total defense in 2020. So they were good even though they were losing. Offense was number 14th in the football subdivision. Their key players are going to be quarterback Sean Chambers, Garrett Crawl, D end, and then Keegan Kreider, center, and then their defensive captain is Chad Muma, so he's a beast. Mountain West Wire predicts that Wyoming's gonna finish the season 10-2.
Sheesh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this theoretically should be good. It's gonna be a tough game. I think this is a loss for San Jose State, 21-17.
I hate to rain on the parade too, man. I think this is a loss too. I mean, we haven't played them in 2 years, but like you said, Ivan, a lot of their losses were close, and they also put up points. 30 plus each game. I hate to break it. I hate being not on that Sparty side, but I got them losing 34-31.
Ooh, okay.
To the Cowboys.
I'll jump on this loss parade as well because
kick a man when he's down.
Yeah, when looking at Wyoming, it looks like they have a solid running back play. Their stats show that they have some pretty explosive receivers and an experienced offensive line that has played together for several years. So seeing that on offense, they did have some quarterback struggles, but I think it was mainly because of injuries. They had one of their starting quarterbacks.
That's a common theme with these teams we're playing, huh?
Well, I guess if you have a dual threat quarterback, he's not going to be in the pocket and protected. He's going to be running around.
Get hurt easy.
Yeah. So they had some issues with quarterback, but One of them, the quarterback that came in, Levi Williams, had a pretty good year until he had like a shoulder injury. Then kind of resulted in low scoring. On the defensive side, it looks like they were ranked 27th in explosive play rate. They dominated the red zone, and all of their 11 starters are returning.
Damn.
So, being that the Spartans' offense is pretty explosive when it comes to receiving, and when they do have their running game, it's also very explosive. I see this pretty much going down to the defense. Both teams will have a very good defense coming into this game, but I think with the Spartans not having, Bailey and Trey as receivers, they're losing essentially their biggest explosive weapons.
Yeah.
So, and knowing that Wyoming already doesn't give up a lot of explosive plays, I think the Spartans are going to be hand-tied, and it's going to be an interesting game for them trying to figure out.
You're going to get in some heat with Zoe, man. You're slandering that run game.
No, I mean, all respect to them, but like when they're on, they're on, but when they're off, they're off.
I'm messing around.
But I think Wyoming wins in a close one, and I have the Spartans losing 16-20. So it's going to be really close. It's going to be low scoring. And at this point, I have the Spartans 5-4. So, they're cutting things pretty close. And then once they get done with Wyoming, they take a little charter bus up to Nevada to play the Wolfpack.
Sheesh.
So when they're playing the Wolfpack, they're coming into this season, the Wolfpack 2020, they were 7-2, including a bowl win versus Tulane in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. All time, the Spartans are. This is a pretty bad stat. All time, the Spartans against Nevada are 10-22-2. And before last year's win, the Spartans last beat Nevada in 2016. And before 2016, the last time they beat Nevada was in 2007. So no matter what year it is, no matter who it is or where it is, the Spartans struggle with the Wolfpack. And Serge, what do you see with these guys?
I think it's gonna be another great game. Last year's game was amazing.
And even the year before that.
Yeah, definitely. They really gave it to us that first half of last year. That running game was dominating, and then that kick return to start the second half really turned us on, and the rest was history. I think this is gonna be a revenge game for Nevada. They definitely probably have a sour taste in their mouth after that type of loss to us. But in I don't know. In the end, I still think San Jose State's gonna win this. They're gonna be a very tough team. They have key players coming back, like their QB might be on the Heisman watch, Carson Strong.
Really?
So
Is that wrong?
Yeah.
So he's supposed to be really good.
I thought it was Malik Henry.
Hey. They got that receiver that was destroying us, Romeo Dubs, and supposedly he's not even their best receiver. That this kid named Elijah Cooks is their best receiver, but he didn't play last year because he had a season-ending injury.
I was telling Serge, I was like, he's coming off a season injury.
But Bailey came off of a few season-ending injuries, and he ate.
He did.
And then
I don't know. I mean.
Yeah, and then Nevada has
Nevada
has a good defensive line, so if our run game could be another issue here, but I think we should be able to throw all over the yard against them again. But they do have a transfer from the University of South Florida, Bentley Sanders, cornerback. So might be interesting. He might be one of the best players on their defense, but we'll just have to see. But like I said, close game. In the end, I think San Jose State's heart wins again, 28-24. We win.
I know you guys don't want to hear this, but I got an L on this one.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know. Like you said, you're throwing all those stats about last time we won was 2016, and prior to that, what was 2006, 2007?
Seven.
And we lost a heartbreaker in 2000. What was it? I was there.
I think it was
2019.
19, yeah.
Yeah, we lost a heartbreaker. That was the 41-38 one. That was crazy. But we did make a comeback. But I don't know. I mean, that first half of last year's game, man, I thought I was like, oof, they're gonna pound the ball on us, but I don't know. Like I said, I got an L on this one, and it's another heartbreaker. It's gonna be 28-21.
Yeah, Nevada definitely is a really good squad. They are coming back with their offense with pretty much almost everyone in their lineup. And quarterback Carson Strong, I mean, he's going to be a problem. Last year, he had a 70% completion percentage, threw for almost 2,900 yards. And this touchdown ratio is pretty nuts. 27 touchdowns to only 4 INTs.
Damn.
So, Heisman watch, definitely. That dude can ball. Romeo Dubs last year
Baller.
had 1,000-yard receiving. Their running game, I know I keep talking about the running game,
Here it comes.
But I think there's a similar to San Jose State in the sense that it's explosive, but it's inconsistent. But when it's on, it's on. So their running game is a little sus.
Because we did rush them in that game.
Yeah.
In the second half, though, probably.
Their defense is projected to return all but one player. And Serge, just like you mentioned, Bentley Sanders in 2020 had 25 tackles, allowed only 38 yards and 1 touchdown.
Damn.
So
that dude's raw.
So, dude, he's pretty good.
But he's kind of small. He's like 5'9", so might be fast. But if he can get like a big body and just box him out, should be.
But
yeah.
Yeah.
When I was looking at it, he kind of reminded me of DJ Hayden. You remember him? He was on the Raiders. Small guy. He was drafted.
Who?
He was
Who?
Dude, he was like, who was drafted in the first round and couldn't do anything, but had a lot of heart, undersized corner.
I think teams like him like in man-to-man. Oh, no, that's Garyon Conley. My bad.
Oh, yeah. That he's on the Texans.
Damn, all these
I think he's out of the game.
All these first-round picks.
We can have a whole podcast on how the Raiders don't know how to draft, but we'll keep it to Nevada.
And then the Niners sign him.
Yeah. And just like last year, I think it's going to go down to who has the ball last and whose running game will show up. Both teams have a really good defense. They both have explosive offensive players. But I think, it's going to go down to defense and who can actually run the ball. And I think that I trust the Spartans' run game more than I do Nevada's. So I think the Spartans will find a way in another close one. I have the Spartans 31-27.
Man, he set us up this whole time.
Ooh. Yeah, I set you guys up. Yeah, that's why you gotta stay and you gotta pay attention.
You're about to get a pitchfork.
Hey, that was juicy.
Coming to your door if you're gonna slam that run game one more time.
One thing to consider too is like, okay, we lost only one game last year, and then this year we'll probably start with a loss at the beginning of the season versus USC. So there's no way we're gonna lose 2 in a row, like to Wyoming and then Nevada. We're gonna lose.
That's why I hate myself.
I think we're losing one of those, but not both of them.
I don't know. They're both tough.
There's no way.
Well, after they have this,
but anything, like Ivan says, anything can happen.
Yeah, that's why. I mean,
still gotta play the games.
Yeah, I mean, this is all projection. Anything can happen. Training camp, guys will get bigger, faster, smarter. And
if Tyler Nevins and Kyrie Robinson are listening, please prove us wrong. Especially Ivan. Yeah, specifically Ivan. Please shut him up.
Yeah. No, bro, I don't even mean to hate. I'm just looking at stats. I'm just looking at numbers. I mean,
it's all love. It's all love.
It's all love. It's I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and I wish everyone the best in that running game or that running back department. And I know Zoe will get the most out of these guys, and they're going to have a really good year. I'm just basing stuff off last year. But we will go on to Utah State after the team, the Spartans played Nevada. We got the Aggies. Their 2020 was not the best if you compare them to recent Utah State years. They went 1-5 with their only win coming against New Mexico. They've had scheduling issues, much like everyone. Games canceled, postponed because of COVID. All time, the Spartans are 20-18-1 versus the Aggies. Currently, look at this. Utah State has a 8-game win streak versus the Spartans. They last beat Utah State in 2008. So that's a little interesting. Serge, what do you have for the Utah State Aggies?
Team struggled on both sides of the ball last year. Team struggles on both sides of the ball. inconsistency at QB.
Mm-hmm.
Defense allowed 34 points per game.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ivan highlighted, yeah, we've lost to them
Eight times in a row.
8 times in a row. So like, that's tough.
Yeah, we got
Utah State. They lost their star running back Jalen Warren, but
transfer or just
I think
he's trying to go pro.
I think he transferred. Players to watch. It's gonna be they got a transfer coming in from Oregon State, Calvin Tyler. He's a running back. Their starting running back's projected to be Devontae Henry Cole. He did a pretty solid job as a starter or backup last year. And then they have a guy coming to play defense, transfer from Fresno State, or he was at Fresno State, then transferred to Jackson State, and now is back in the Mountain West.
Yeah. Transfer portal.
Yeah, and he was supposed to be nice. Supposedly he was like one of the best players on Fresno State's defense. His name was Justin Rice, so he's coming through. But I think in the end, too much to overcome for Utah State. So easy dub for San Jose State, 42-28.
Ooh, okay. So yeah, like I don't know, since they were the second to last in place in Mountain West, behind or in front of UNLV, I don't seem very impressed. I mean, compared to the last time we played them, since they had Jordan Love the last time we played them, and we got smoked.
Yeah.
But it's a whole different year, and it's a whole different team. Like you guys said last episode, we're a championship team. I got the San Jose State back on the win column, smashing them 38-21.
Yeah, I agree with you guys too. This definitely isn't the old Utah State that San Jose State saw a few times. The last two games, actually, the Spartans played against Utah State. Both times, Utah State put up 60 points. So I don't see that happening this year. Definitely far from those Matt Wells coached teams. But yeah, just Serge, like you said, I think they lack talent on both sides of the ball. They did have, as you mentioned, they've had some transfers.
Something's
they got
in you today, huh? Someone's bugging you.
I think. Yeah, no, I mean, it's improved. Their roster definitely is improved. They have 3 Arkansas State transfers and 6 Power Conference transfers. But either way, I think the Spartans snapped their losing streak against Utah State, and they take this win. I have the Spartans winning 38-20. So finally, we can wash that ridiculous losing streak against them. And then from that. They're going into a bye week, so this is their second bye week of the year, and it's pretty huge. I mean, like, it's so random to me, and
especially since we're gonna play our biggest rivals.
Yeah,
right after that.
It's so random, and any team obviously benefits from a bye week. You have 2 weeks to prepare for Fresno State that we'll get into right now, but I guess kind of how we have the Spartans projected, it's going to help them definitely for postseason play. So I think it was really, I don't know if they have any say in creating, just putting this bye week here, but I mean, it's very well done. So they get 2 weeks to prepare for Fresno State. In 2020, the Bulldogs went 3-3. They did not play San Jose State last year. It was canceled because of COVID. They had another game canceled against San Diego State because of COVID. And 2020 was the first year since 2012 where Fresno State and the Spartans did not play a game. This is the old Valley rivalry. The Spartans are 38-42-3 all time against Fresno State. And since they last played, the Spartans won in 2019. So they currently hold the Valley Trophy. So Serge, what do you see with the Fresno State Bulldogs?
Just because it's a rivalry, I think it'll be a tough one, a close one. I think getting that bye week right before, huge plus. If we didn't get that bye week, that would have been 10 straight games in a row.
Nuts.
Which is insane. Like, that's, mentally and physically draining. So getting that break in between definitely helps. And if the season goes as we kind of are predicting, like, that bye week can definitely help us in our quest to defend the mountain. But Fresno State, they're a tough team. They have that running back, Ronnie Rivers. He's super nice. I know he's done working against us the last couple of years. They have a high octane offense led by QB Jake Hayner, and then obviously running back Ronnie Rivers, and then they got 3 studs at receiver: Jalen Cooper, Josh Kelly, and Eric Wheatfall. Their defense kind of plays to their offensive style. So like their offense is like explosive and high octane offense. So their defense, they like to play a little aggressive. That's probably because they're not like the most talented defensively. So they're out there trying to get chances. They ranked 3rd nationally in sack rate last year, and then they were 13th in havoc rate. So I know I don't know if you guys listen to Chris Sims, his podcast, but he has a thing where he likes to call he wants to create a new stat called the fuck the play up stat. Because like for example, Jadeveon Clowney, he doesn't get many sacks, but he fucks a lot of plays up. Yeah. Because just the havoc he creates. So their defensive line does create a lot of havoc. Might fuck a lot of plays up. But that style of defense where you're being super aggressive does lead to big plays by the opponent if they capitalize. I think Nick Starkel can definitely pick them apart and take advantage of that. Not an easy dub, but it's going to be a dub for San Jose State. I would say 35-28.
That seems fair.
Yeah.
I don't really have much on this game since we didn't get to play them last year. I was excited for this one. Mm-hmm. I was also very nervous because I was like, ooh. I mean, when Fresno plays us, they play us tough.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think we come over victorious, but I don't think it's gonna be. I'm finally not gonna say a high score. I think it's gonna be 24-17. Sparty.
Okay. On Fresno's side, Ronnie Rivers is a problem. I saw this stat that they projected his stats from last year, and instead of it being, a condensed season over a 13-game season, he was on pace for over 1,100 yards rushing and almost 600 yards receiving.
When 2019, he had 177 rushing yards against the Spartans.
Yeah, so he is a problem.
He could eat.
Yeah. And, you mentioned the defense, who's really good at, ranked really high with their sack rate, havoc rate. But one thing that I found kind of interesting was that they allowed 20 points per game in wins, but when they lose a game, they give up over 40 points per game. So Sheesh. When it's going good, it's going good. When it's bad, it's bad. So it's kind of interesting that, their defense, for how good they also are ranked 125th in marginal explosiveness allowed, which is ESPN's measure of magnitude of a successful play. So their defense really is like all in or nothing. They almost pretty much get burned by the blitz. But I definitely see.
It was like was it the Rams defense during that championship run where the offense was super good, so then the defense was like able to take risks even though they weren't the most talented. Yeah. Well, they had like solid DBs, but other than Aaron Donald, there wasn't much there.
Yeah, so I think for this game, I think the Spartans will be really fresh coming off a bye week, and they're going to be hungry for the opportunity to beat Fresno and play them since they didn't really get a chance last year. So I'm going to say that
the trophy stays home?
I think the trophy stays home. I have the Spartans winning 33, Fresno State 27.
Oh, we got close games on these ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, I think with last year and whatever, I think a lot of guys got an opportunity to play.
Yeah.
And then, a lot of guys were able to come back. So it's almost like, maybe a practice year for some teams. So now they get all their young guys experience. They're, get bigger, faster, stronger this year. So I think it's going to be very competitive. I don't think we see any blowouts. Of course, anything can happen with injuries. Players, don't play up to par or whatever it is. But finishing the year, I have the Spartans finishing 8-4 and 5-3 in the Mountain West Conference. So that leads to postseason play, and if they will be able to play in the championship game and I think with an 8-4 record, 5-3 in the conference, I think that it would be good enough to make it to the Mountain West Championship. Kind of some similar stats in 2019, Hawaii, and in 2014 at Fresno State, they both made it to the conference championship with a 5-3 Mountain West record. So what do you guys got for them?
So I got them finishing off 10-2. Losses,
Damn.
yeah, losses being to USU and Wyoming. You know, just like they said, you know, they're trying to run it back.
Yeah.
Got all the key guys back.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, losing Bailey and Trey hurts, but I think we'll be able to replace them. I think our defense is going to be better than they were last year. Definitely took the step forward last year. So this year, they get to just prove that their defense is for real. You know, Fajoku and Kate Hall definitely showed that they can get after the quarterback, and I think that might be the difference. Definitely showed in that Boise State game. Kate Hall just finished the game. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a good year. Should be back defending our title, and hopefully go to a bowl game.
I got the same record as Ivan, 8-4, but division wise, conference wise, I didn't add that up. But yeah, I have them going 8-4. Hopefully they make the conference championship.
You only have them losing one division game.
Two.
Two to Nevada.
To Nevada and Wyoming. I
So
have
yours
6-2.
Yeah.
6-2, and I got them 8-4 overall. Yeah, so you brought up those stats, and that seems. I mean, if we go 8-4, I mean, that gives us a good shot to run it back for another Mountain West championship. Hopefully they win it, and they go on to a bowl game as well and win that one as well. So.
Yeah, I agree too. I think even with the 8-4 record overall,
I guess we're bowl eligible.
That's gonna get you a bowl game, and then I found some possible bowls that San Jose State or just anyone in the Mountain West can play in, and it all depends on how you end the season, whether you win your conference game or whatever. But we have a bowl in Los Angeles, which is still not to be named, possibly just the Los Angeles Bowl. You have the famous Idaho Potato Bowl.
Yeah.
You got the New Mexico Bowl. You have the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl. You got the SoFi Hawaii
I love
Bowl.
these names of these bowls.
You got the possible Cheez-It Bowl. That's if the Big 10 or Big 12 don't play. The Mountain West is scratched in there as a possible team. So, and ESPN will be operating a bowl in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. That is a possibility too. Since there were so many games that were, canceled, so many bowl games, I think there's going to be a lot more bowls this year. So it just means a lot more opportunities for a lot of these schools. So yeah, no, I definitely see, San Jose State playing in one of these bowls, and who knows, maybe we will take a trip and have a live podcast at the bowl.
Down.
Dude, that would be dope. Can
That
you
would be
imagine
so
that?
dope.
You probably want to go to the Los Angeles Bowl.
Why would anyone want to go
Kind
there?
of common theme with you.
Home of champions.
And if USC does well,
Seriously.
gonna go to the Rose Bowl.
Oh,
Ivan's
man.
gonna be like rooting underneath his breath every time.
All right, well, so there you have it, folks. We got the Spartans. I think we all here project them running it back. We think that the Spartans having all their talent coming back,
Fingers crossed, baby.
most of their, pretty much all their coaching staff coming back. The operation, is kicking on cylinders. Everything is going good.
JC.
Yeah, we our old guy KC is gone. So, but other than that, the
And
staff.
Gundy, don't forget Gundy.
Oh yeah, and Gundy's back or
Gone.
is gone. So generally speaking, for the greater overall team, everyone is coming back. All your playmakers. There are some weapons being lost in Bailey and Trey, but I think the Spartans ultimately. We'll figure it out. We'll see what happens with the spring as we're talking right now, and in these podcast episodes, they're in spring ball. So we'll see what comes about that. We'll probably have a spring ball recap. But yeah, let me plug in our socials. Serge, what's our TikTok? Because I didn't plug that last time, and that's like our best thing so far.
I know it's been our biggest hit on social media. But it's the same as like Instagram. So it's gonna be what is it, Sparty Update Podcast?
Yeah. So Twitter is Sparty Update Podcast. Instagram Sparty Update. Facebook, the Sparty Update, and YouTube, the Sparty Update. So please follow us on those socials. Like I say all the time, because Instagram is the only thing that we have followers. If you're listening to this, you're probably already on our Instagram.
Shout out to you guys.
Yeah, shout out IG. Shout out to the people that follow us. That's awesome. Some sources of the site, because we're professionals. So we got sportreference.com, ESPN Stats, FBSschedule.com. All the schools that were named on this schedule and their athletic department website.
PFF.
PFF, yeah. 247 Sports, Mountain West Conference website. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I got one last.
Oh, you got what?
One last stat for you, bro.
All right, let's see it.
Tyler Nevins, according to PFF, was tied for 6th place with a grade of 90.4 in the nation as far as running back grade. But he did only have 189 offensive snaps. So, he didn't play that many snaps, but when he did, he took it back. Yeah, he was effective. Ranked ahead of Najee Harris.
I don't know. If you ask me, that just sounds like he's got to get the ball more.
That's what I'm kind of hinting at, that he needs to get fed more.
We got to make some T-shirts, feed him. Like, feed Tyler Nevins, like hashtag that.
And he's the one that went crazy against Nevada, just
crazy
running over everyone.
Game 1, we'll be out there with some signs, like feed him, and like if someone else gets the ball, we'll just boo. No,
Nah, I like Kyrie too.
Yeah, no, we can't.
Like holiness.
Dude, they need to utilize them in both like as receiver and a running back. Sweeps would be dope.
I always thought holiness was dope.
Yeah, he's nice.
Yeah. So
and his name's tight too.
In our future episodes, we will get into the nitty-gritty of position groups. We'll break down who we think will start and what opportunities guys may get now that there's a little bit more experience and there's a lot, more opportunity for the team to grow.
Also, if you're listening and, following us on social, don't be afraid to leave comments, reviews, give us ideas. Like, what kind of episodes do you guys want us to do? We'll definitely,
we're doing this for y'all.
Yeah, we'll take your ideas into consideration. And, your idea could potentially be an episode down the line.
Yeah. This podcast is sponsored by someone's idea that we couldn't come up with. Yeah, so we'll do that. But yeah, we will sign off now. Make sure to follow us on socials and stay tuned for our next episode. And with that, we'll have you guys with Sparty Up.
Sparty Up.
Sparty Up.